Hi, everybody. This is Robin Broom with the Creative Treehouse, and I am coming to you live from the treehouse. And it's kind of an interesting event here. Let me turn my lights a little bit. My computer is dead, and so yes, long live the computer. And because of that, I can't edit videos and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna do a live. I wanted to show you this card that I just finished a little while ago for my son, who's a gamer, and it is having to do with endless space. It's a game. I don't really know anything about it. I know that he and my daughter sort of play a lot of times together, even though they're miles apart, which is kind of cool. So I just looked up pictures of endless space and made this card for him. And everybody in my family thinks that I need to do a YouTube live or a video showing how I created these very unique things. So I'm gonna give it a try, see how that goes. So this is the card, and I've got the inside to it, and I'll be mailing it tomorrow, not tomorrow, Sunday. I'll be mailing it on Monday. And I am using the Level Complete. It's a new stamp set in the annual catalog, and I'm going to be using several of these. The game that he plays, although he does have Xbox and stuff, he plays this on his computer, so that kind of limited me to some of these things. I didn't even know what that was, but I think my husband looked it up and figured it out. So we're going to be using all of those four sentiments and even the +1. And then I'm also going to use the tech support, and I use just this, and this is a retired stamp set, but he is a big time computer person. So if you want to see how I did this, I will try to recreate it. So what I did first was I just came up with, I Googled it, and I found this particular scene or whatever that is on some of the endless space things, and I grabbed a piece of the new Azure afternoon Azure afternoon. Maybe that's it, something like that. I'm trying to learn all the new names. Cardstock, and I cut it at 4 by 5 1/4, so just a quarter of an inch smaller than the card base. And although it looks a different color, the card base is the same, as is this. And then what I decided to do was I just made a line. I just took a straight edge. Actually, I took a piece of paper and I just drew a line like that, because that's what the picture looks like. You could probably look it up and see it's half of it's dark, and then it's got whatever this is, a spaceship, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway, and that's what I did. So I've gone ahead and I replicated that, and I've drawn, I don't know if you can see the pencil line, and then I'm gonna need a scrap piece of paper. Let's see what I can use. Well, no, we won't use that. Hang on, let me find a good scrap. I had one. And we will just use this envelope. That'll work, because I'm going to be doing some using the blending brushes and stuff. Okay, so what I did was I used lots of Stampin' Up stuff. Okay, so there's a moon or something that's behind this thing, and so what I did was I took, this is one of the stylish shapes, and I just set it down there because I know I needed a circle, and I took a pencil and I went around it for my moon or whatever it is. So I just did like that around. And then there's another moon behind it. So I took the smaller circle and I went around it as well. So something like this. They're not going to be exact, but anyway, something like that. So that's what I use those as like templates or whatever, stencils almost. And then I just started trying to recreate the colors and things. So I think the first thing I did, well, actually I could take, let's see, I utilized the blends and the Stampin' Right markers. I even had a watercolor pencil, a retired the chalk marker, all kinds of things. All right, so I'm gonna take this is the blueberry bushel, isn't it? Yeah, let's see. I don't have with me the Night of Navy. I believe I used the Night of Navy one. Okay, I'm gonna take this and I just I have no idea what this little guy is. Like I said, I think he's maybe a spaceship. I don't even know if it's the good guys or the bad guys, but I just tried to kind of recreate it, just looking at the picture. And again, I really don't know. And that is okay. So I'm really curious to see what he thinks when he gets it. So I just kind of drew it all out, and it's not going to be exact or to scale. And I think the second one that I'm making here is going to be a little bit bigger than the first one. So I'm kind of looking at the first one. So say hooray for Google and being able to copy images. I'm just looking at the image and just kind of going over it. So, all right, so let me get the back end of this. Mine shows the back end. So, yeah, okay, and we'll do that, and there'll be more to it, but let's go now, and we're going to go over. I think I used Tahitian Tide, I believe was what I used, and I used the light and the dark. Let me be sure I've got those right. Yes, okay. So I did this moon thingy, and I just colored it with a light Tahitian Tide, and then the dark, and then I also I did use one thing that was not, I used a little bit of a gel pen that is not a Stampin' Up product, because the chalk marker, which of course is retired, doesn't, it kind of soaks into the cardstock a little bit. So anyway, so this is what I did. I really love the blends because they blend so nicely. That's the name. Now you don't see all of the pen marks, magic marker marks. Okay, like that. All right, and then the other one was just basically the white, and I tried the chalk marker with that one, and that one is a little trickier because it does not blend. So, but it was kind of a strange spacey looking moon. It had some other colors in it too, so it wasn't totally white, and so it works. Okay, and then what needed to happen then was I'm going to go ahead and I'll take the Tahitian Tide and the dark, and if I remember correctly from the original one, it had some dark colors in it, so let's just add a little bit of dark to it. And I remember there being quite a bit of dark right in here. All right, and then what we can do is take the light and mix it in a little bit better. Like I said, that is what's so cool about these markers, is they just blend in, let it dry, and it's pretty neat. Okay, so got some of that going, and then what I did was, I think I took the chalk marker, and then I also did, because it had like a halo-y glow around it, especially in the front part. So we'll do that, and have some go around that as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the gel pen and see if I can get a little brighter white, and I think you can see that a little bit. And we'll just make that like that, and there was quite a bit of bright all around this guy. Probably should have taken in my pencil and erased it, but that's okay. Okay, then we'll fill in all of that guy, and we're going to do that with the Night of Navy. And this is the dark Night of Navy. Let's try this. Let's start with the light. It's always easier to go darker. Start light and go darker. And it doesn't matter on this side really, because I'm going to take the Night of Navy paper and I'm going to go over it, sort of cover it up so I don't have to worry about that. Okay. The Stampin' Right markers are have been revamped and they're newer, and I don't have any of them yet. I'm looking forward to getting some of those. They have different, the tips on them are a little bit different. I'm curious. The ones that I have seen just online, they look great. So here is this spaceshipy guy. He's pretty much just going to be dark. And I'm using the broad tipped end. I know it looks pretty strange. I sent a picture of this to my daughter to see if she could figure out just from the photo what it was. And she did. And confirmed that that was indeed the game that they play. So it's difficult to come up with good cards for adults, especially guys. So there is a something or another in the air here, and another little blobby missile, not sure what it is there. And then we're gonna, let's see, I'll use this blueberry bushel, come out here with it. There's some more of that. All right, what else do I need to do? This also had a bunch of extra pieces in it. We'll give him some extra pieces. So what else? All right, and this guy needs some stuff as well. And okay, I think that's, we're getting there, and then I'll show you some of the colors and things that I did. And another thing is they all look like, I guess it's they're moving or something through space. So they have some white, and then the bright white I'm using the gel pen for, and the other one I'm using the retired chalk marker because it kind of, you'll see it sort of disappear. It'll blend into the paper. All right, and then looks like there was some other little guys down here. I think one of them, I think it was like a, maybe an explosion or whatever. It looks like nothing's coming out of it, so I have a feeling it was not a spaceship, but just a piece of something that blew up. Anyway, I know there's different colors of teams, I think, in this game, and so I hear them talking, and you know that the red people are after them, or the orange team or something. So all right, what else do I need to do? Now I'm gonna go ahead and let's do a blending pen, or the blending brush. Figure out where I put, oh, there it is. And then let's start with blueberry bushel, and I may go with Night of Navy after that. So this is one of the things that I need this for. So I'm gonna just go through, and we're gonna darken up the sky. And it's always good on the darker colors to kind of go off just a little bit, so you don't get blobs all over your finished product, because you don't want blobs. Well, sometimes it works out for clouds, but anyway, and who knows, there may be blobs in space. So all right, and notice how the white went away, like I said, so that's pretty soft. All right, so let's go back and redo on the white. So part of it's because we went over it, and part of it's just because that's what happens, that it just all soaks in. All right, okay, and then what else? I think there was more white in here. All right, and then I did some more. I actually did a little bit of the watercolor pencil, and I just went through, hopefully I'm not shaking too much, and gave it a good overall, and I put a lot more color on the edges. So, because I assume it's sort of going out further deep space or something, so that's the way the picture was. So we'll just do quite a bit here, and then we'll use the blending, and then we'll blend that, making it darker. All right, and let's see if I brought my blender. Yes, I did. All right. Okay. I've been asked frequently, what's in this? I really don't know. I believe it's just water, moisture. So anyway, we'll go through and get that. You might be able to hear my dog snoring in the background. That's funny. Yeah. The other day when he was, well, it's been quite some time after he had had his surgery and stuff. Oh my goodness, he was snoring something awful. It was hilarious. Somebody that was watching, I think it was a Facebook Live, their dog heard it and started barking. It was funny. Anyway, all right, let's see if we can get through here. So it just gives, the other one is really, really soft and blends well. But that just gives us some extra color in there. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about going over that line because it's kind of just an arbitrary line. All right, and again, I feel like I have to go back and maybe do the white and brighten it up again so it just keeps disappearing on us. Okay, and we'll go with the chalk, and we're getting close. We're getting close. So then I'll show you what I did for the whatever that other piece is. All right. Yep, something like that. So that looks, that looks similar, I think? Sort of, yes. It's similar. I think it's actually darker. So let's take, is this the light or the dark? This is the dark Night of Navy. Let's take the light Night of Navy, and I will go over it a little bit here too. It's a little bit darker, and I can also get, I'll probably get the Night of Navy. Did I bring my Night of Navy ink? If I did, I can use it. I did. Cool. Okay. So sorry there haven't been any videos recently, but like I said, it's because I don't have a computer. It's amazing how much we get attached to all of our electronics and things. All right, I'm going to use, we used Blueberry Bushel. Now I'm going to go to the Night of Navy, and we're going to try a little bit of that and see if we can get it even darker. My apologies, as I'm probably shaking it some. Oh, we got a blob. Yep, an outer space blob. Okay. Let's see what else we need to do. I feel like this is not as bright as it needs to be, that planet or whatever it is. Let's see what we can do. It may just be that it needs a little more contrast, maybe. So let's see what we can come up with. And also, I know another thing that it probably is that I used Blueberry Bushel on this spaceship, question mark, and that could be part of it too. All right, so let's do a little more of the dark in here on the spots that I said, whoa, yeah, that's really dark. Well, now we got a really dark thing. Yep, it was the other dark, not that one. So we'll just blend it in. Ah, that gives a nice shadow. Look at that. Isn't that cool how it blended? Cool, I like that. Okay. See, there doesn't have to be a mistake. All right. A little bit more. Okay. And, yep, I need, if I had the Night of Navy pen, it would help too, because I'll be able to go back over those and make them stand out a little bit more as my white continues to disappear. Did you see that? All right. So anyway, that's what it was. And then let me show you how I did the other stuff. So it's similar, I think. It's a little bit similar to those. Yep. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'm I'm going to see if I can get this the same direction on here, the same angle, and then I will cut it. Let's see where my pencil is. Here it is. So my pencil looks like it's going about like that. All right, and I'll get my trimmer. I'll see if I can trim it about at that angle. And hopefully it's also bigger, so we're going to be able to cut it off as well. Yeah, okay, so we'll do like that. Let me, yep, all right, here we go. So I'm just going to glue that on, and then I'm going to trim off the edges. So in this case, my bottom piece is the one that is actually smaller, so that's, I am shaking the table here. Okay, so that's where we'd put the glue. We always put the glue on the smaller piece. So we're gonna just slide that up there like that. And now I'm gonna use my trimmer again, and I'm gonna trim off the excesses here and each of the sides. Okay, that one looks about right. And then this one. Alright, now let's see how close it looks. It should look a lot closer. Okay, great. And now what we're going to do is I'll just show you real quick what I did with those other pieces. So I did utilize the retired punches. And what I did was I used the 3/4 inch punch, and I punched. Maybe this one needs to be sharpened. And then I took my 1 inch and I went around it like this and got it as even as I could, punched it, and so now you have the ring, which is this part. I did that, and then I hand drew out. I just did a circle, and then I hand drew this little guy. And then what I did was I took, after I had the circle and this one, I ran them through with the quatrefoil. Yeah, I think is what it is. This one, this embossing folder, because it just needed, on the real one, there's just the little, I don't know if they're emblems or textures or whatever, so there's textures there. And that's what I did on that. And then I glued it together. I glued this on top, and then this little guy did not have anything, but I actually put some white on it. And again, I have no idea what that is, like a spaceship maybe. But anyway, so that ended up going here. And then I used white embossing powder. And I am very blue. I'm going to turn into a Smurf. Okay, and then so I used white embossing powder for the congratulations that goes around in here. And then the same with the achievement unlocked. And I popped both of those up with dimensionals. And then this is the white again, and it is on the basic gray, and this is smoky slate. So as well as the circle there, and then silver embossing for that on the Night of Navy. And so this is Blueberry Bushel is your mat there, and then these are the little computer keys that came from the retired tech support. And then I think that's about it. What I did was I just trimmed it with my scissors, and I just created my own. Let me trim it down just a little bit more. They have pretty soft corners on theirs in the game, and so I used those wonderful paper snips, and then I just trimmed around and made my own corner rounders. So that's what I did. Took a little bit more time. It was a little better. And I did that for each of those, and those were on the basic gray. So that fits well right there. And I trimmed those corners, and as I did the leveled up. But these are glued down with the Tombow liquid glue and not up on dimensionals. Then I also did a little bit of splattering, and even splattered with the Wink of Stella, just to kind of, but it's pretty subtle. So anyway, so that is it. That is the, what was it called? Level Complete. And that was the birthday card. So anyway, I thought that was fun, and my family insisted that I make a video of the process. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and comment anyway, and let me know if that's if you have a gamer in your life, and maybe I've inspired you to make a card using that stamp set. So that's it. So there you go. That's pretty much it. Like, I have no idea if this is flying this direction or what. I've seen it in different directions. So, but anyway, so there you go. There is the card. And I'll see you next time in the Creative Treehouse. Thanks so much for joining me. And we'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.